Hello Valencia students, this is Karen Murphy with Pearson. I am here today to guide you through MyAccountingLab, the resource that accompanies your financial or managerial textbook for this semester at Valencia College. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our MyAccountingLab homepage, which you can get to by going to www.myaccountinglab.com. You can also go to pearsonmylab.com. This will get you to the landing page, and in the future you'll be able to come here, click sign in, and use your login credentials. But because you haven't yet registered for your course, we're going to go ahead and register you now. So under register now, click on student, and it notifies us that there are 3 things that we need in order to register for our course. With email, you want to make sure that you use either your Valencia email address or an email address that you won't lose access to anytime in the near future. Your course ID is going to come from your instructor. Each course section has its own unique course ID, so you need to ask your instructor what your ID is for this specific section. And then lastly, you're going to have either an access code from the bookstore or you can purchase directly online with a credit card. So we're going to click OK. Now I'm going to put in a course ID, but again, this may not be your course ID, so you'll definitely want to look in Blackboard or inquire with your instructor as to what your course ID is. The next page asks us to log in with our Pearson account. If you've used another MyLab in a course, maybe MyMathLab or MyBizLab, you may already have a Pearson account and you can log in at this time. If you're not sure what that login and password was, you can go ahead and click Forgot My Username and Password and enter your email address. It will then email you all of the usernames and passwords that are affiliated with that account. It is in your best interest to have just one Pearson account, simply for the fact that if you contact technical support, it's much easier if they know who is calling rather than having to flip through 8 different versions of you to try to figure out which one is having the problem. If you don't yet have a Pearson account, you're going to click on Create. It's going to ask you for that email address. You can create a username. A lot of us use our email address as our username, and then you're going to put in your password twice. I will point out that our system only asks you for your email address and your username once, so take a moment and make sure that you don't have any typos in those fields. I've done it myself. There's nothing more frustrating than registering for a course and then not being able to sign in later. You also have a little security question here, and our standard license agreement, which is very exciting. So you can go ahead and click I accept and create the account. Because I already have a Pearson account, I'm going to go ahead and input my account information now to get us to the next screen. All right, on the next screen, we have our purchase options. Now, if you've been to the Valencia College bookstore, you'll notice that we have custom editions of your financial and managerial text available for you. Your instructors were very thoughtful in creating these because it does actually save you money over the standard national book, because we've pulled a few chapters, and those are chapters that you're no longer paying for. Those packages will also include a card for MyAccountingLab, so you'll have everything that you need in one bundle. You also have the option to purchase online. This is an all-digital option, so you may also want to ask your instructor if that would be appropriate for you. Some accounting professors feel strongly that you need a print book on your shelf to refer back to, particularly if you're an accounting major or even if you want to study business. This last option is MyLab, but it does not include an ebook. So there's 2 resources that are missing here. Again, you don't have that complete ebook. You also don't have the help when you're in solving problems in the homework. If you get stuck, we have an e-text link that will take you to the page where that particular principle is being taught, and if you lack the link to the ebook, it'll take you to a dead page. So if you like to have those kinds of study aids available to you while you're working, even if you have a print book, it is preferable to have this copy. This last option is to get temporary access. So if you're waiting for financial aid or maybe just a paycheck, you haven't made it to the bookstore yet, everybody should be able to register with temporary access on the first day of class. That's one benefit of using digital resources. It simply asks you if you want to have temp access, and the answer would be yes. You do have access for 14 days, during which you can access your e-text, complete assignments, and any work that you do during that time will also carry over to your full license as long as you upgrade within the same username and password. After that 14 days, unfortunately, your access does go away if you haven't upgraded, but you can log back in with that username and password and upgrade at that time, and all your assignments will carry over. So we're going to go ahead and click yes, and it's going to register me in that section. A couple of housekeeping notes. You'll notice that if you don't register within that 14 days, your instructor will also lose account of you because you disappear from their gradebook and their roster, and they most often wonder where you are. So while this is loading, I want to cover a couple of other housekeeping notes regarding MyAccountingLab. Our content is written in HTML5. Basically, that means that there are certain browsers that are going to run that language better than others. Google Chrome is the most preferred browser for Pearson MyLabs. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have Google Chrome in place and download it. Our content is written to be mobile, so you can take advantage of that, but it also means that you're going to have a rather poor performance if you try to use Internet Explorer with this particular technology. If we look at the home page under announcements, I'd like to point out we also have this button here for a browser check. So if you're using Google Chrome but you find that maybe a page is loading slowly, or you're not really sure if you're set up for success, you can go ahead and click on the browser check, and it will clear your cache and make sure you're running the most updated version of your browser. It's just a nice way to kind of one-stop shop, make sure that all your technology is in place, especially when you're working from your home computer. One of the most anxiety-ridden places to be as a student is if you're using a technology for a course and you find that the technology isn't working the way that it's supposed to. And so, although we don't expect you to have any problems, I think it's really important to share with you what to do if you are having a problem. So again, if you're having a problem, first thing you want to do is make sure you're using Google Chrome, and number two, run the browser check. But let's say you're still having an issue with MyAccountingLab and you're not really sure what's going on. I want to go back to that landing page, MyAccountingLab.com, and point out that under Students, we have a support link. If you click on Support, you'll notice there's a user guide and some other helpful tips on getting started. But if you're having a technical issue, you're going to contact technical support. You have to follow some breadcrumbs here. So we're going to go contact 24/7 technical support, and it is really 24/7. So you can contact technical support at 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night, and someone will answer your call. You're going to choose your country, and then it is going to ask if you want to have a live chat or if you want to have a call. If you live chat, you're simply going to type into the chat box and someone will type right back at you. If you like to have a call with a live person, this is not a robocall, this is a real person on the other end of the line, you can call. In either situation, you'll be given an incident number. And in the instance, the rare instance that they can't solve your problem, that incident number is what your instructor will ask you for if you're having a technical problem. So it's not sufficient to come to class and say, I was having a problem with MyLab, so I couldn't really do my homework. What you're going to want to forward on is, I contacted Pearson Technical Support, here is the incident number, and it's not to be resolved yet. So your instructor can forward to me that specific incident number. I am your local rep for Pearson, and I can usually either resolve that issue quickly or I can escalate it to someone else who can. So just know, in the event that you do have an issue, please do take advantage of that 24/7 technical support and then loop your instructor in as needed. Thanks so much and good luck. Have a great semester. Bye now.